Hey Piscatorians, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do another cooking episode, and we're going to do the Piscatorian Dungeness crab and corn chowder. So I'm going to show you how to make it. It's delicious. You're going to want to try it at home. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we got really good bacon. I got this at the local meat shop, and I took about 4 really thick slices. And I diced them up, but you can see that's the thickness of the bacon. So if you don't have a meat shop, I guess you can use store-bought bacon, and I would go probably 6 slices, but hopefully you guys have a meat shop, you can get a really good quality product. But it's all diced up, and we're gonna go ahead and just cook this bacon and you know, render the fat out of it. You can see the pan's starting to brown, and just keep stirring that bacon around. We're gonna cook it for about 3 or 4 minutes, just continually stirring it. And I'm using kind of a Dutch oven style pan. It's a cast iron, and it's coated. Alright, so you can see that flavor developing at the bottom of the pan, that caramelization. This bacon is just about done. Then we're going to go ahead and remove the bacon from the pan. Drain off a little bit of that grease. Keep about a teaspoon, and then we're going to add a tablespoon of salted butter, or not salted, excuse me, unsalted butter to the pan, and then we're going to put in some vegetables and whatnot. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got the bacon out, and I put in a bowl with a paper towel just to kind of, you know, absorb some of that excess grease. We're going to go ahead and set that aside, and then the next thing we're going to do is add our tablespoon of unsalted butter. Okay, oh, one quick thing I wanted to mention. I know on the crab video it was a little dark, so hopefully today you guys can see a lot better. My mother-in-law watches the channel, and she's a supporter of the channel, and she hit me up yesterday with a cool surprise, a brand new ring light, so I got that in play today. Thank you, Mom, for that present, and hopefully it makes the video a little bit better for you. But anyway, we're going to melt this butter down, and then we're going to saute our onions and garlic. And basically here in Washington we got those Walla Walla sweet onions, so I could basically have a medium onion diced, and then 2 kind of medium sized cloves of garlic diced, and we're going to go ahead and saute that. And then we're going to add some celery. I took 2 ribs of celery and diced that up as well. So that's kind of the next steps here. So we're going to go ahead and throw that in right now. Get all that good garlic out of there. And then we're going to go ahead and put the onions in. I guess I should do it this way, so you can see. Yeah, so we got the onions in there, and you notice we got the all that flavor from the bacon, that caramelization on the bottom. As this cooks, that's going to scrape up and just really add flavor, so you don't want to get rid of that. And then basically we're going to go like kind of medium high to saute these vegetables. So we'll give this about a minute or 2, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in the celery next. Alright, so it's been a good minute. We're going to go ahead and add the celery in as well. Start stirring that around and let that saute. Go another couple of minutes, then we'll add some flour to kind of create a roux. Alright, so we got that celery and those onions and garlic going. And then the next ingredient we're going to add is some Yukon gold diced potatoes. So I got them, I don't know what you'd call that, like 1/2-inch squares. I mean, that's kind of to your liking. But I took two, I guess they'd be 2 larger Yukon gold potatoes and diced those up. And so we're going to add that next, just kind of let those get happy in the pot with the rest of the vegetables. Alright, then the next thing we're going to do is add about 2 tablespoons of flour to the pot, and then we're going to stir that. And you definitely want to cook this flour, so we're going to stir for about another 2 to 3 minutes. Just be careful not to burn it. And just constantly stirring. Alright guys, so you see how the bottom of the pan is starting to brown. That's what we want to see. Now we're going to go ahead and add in 32 ounces of chicken broth. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is turn our stove up. Going to go to about a medium high. We're going to bring it to a boil. We're going to add a bay leaf. Then we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to taste. Or I should say I'll start with a 1/4 teaspoon. Then taste it to see if we need to add a little more later, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of coarse ground pepper. We're going to do a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning. We're going to add the bacon back in. So we'll just lift this up here and dump that in like so. And then the next thing is the corn. You can use, fresh corn if you like. However, I like the shoepeg corn, the white shoepeg corn by the Green Giant here. It's delicious, but I put 2 cans of that in basically, so just under 3 cups, but pretty close. So we'll go ahead and put that corn in. It's going to be a nice hearty chowder. And we're going to go ahead and bring this to a boil. Alright guys, so we got this chowder mixture, this vegetable and stock mixture boiling. It's been going for about 6 or 7 minutes. At this point, what you want to do is grab a clean spoon and take one of your potatoes, and then you're going to want to go ahead and taste that, and you kind of want it to al dente doneness. And once you achieve that, then go ahead and knock the heat back to like medium low over there. We're going to go ahead and knock the heat down, and then we're going to have the fun part, add in the crab. So I'm using fresh Dungeness crab. I mean, you could use rock crab, I suppose, if you're on the East Coast, blue crab or lump crab. And I mean, if you don't have access to fresh crab, I guess you could use canned crab, but I'm always about the fresh crab, and we have it here in our backyard in the Puget Sound. So you get away with probably like a pound, but I go probably a pound and a half, pound and 3/4, because I like a real thick, chunky soup. Again, that's just a taste. But we're gonna put all this delicious picked Dungeness crab meat right in the pot there. Let that stir in, simmer. See how dense this soup is. And, you know, you could add a little less if you like, but you know, I like a full hearty bowl, so that's how I'm making this chowder. So we'll let that go a few minutes. Then we'll add the cream, and this soup will be pretty close to done. Then we're just gonna taste it and see if we need to add additional seasoning, but should be pretty good to go. I've made this a few times and it's a winner. Alright guys, now we're gonna add in the cream. I'm using heavy whipping cream, right about a cup. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour that in there like so. We're gonna go ahead and stir that up, bring it to temperature. I think I'm gonna add a little diced parsley to this too, just to give it a little more color. Then we'll hunt out that bay leaf and pull it out, and yeah, we'll be ready to rock and roll. That's looking like a nice thick chowder. Now as far as the consistency, I mean, it's a little runny. You could add more flour to your roux if you like a thicker chowder, but I put so many ingredients in it that, you know, that kind of makes up for the thickness in my mind, and it's not as much flour, you know, it's just a hearty, delicious chowder. So we're gonna let that heat up, and then we should be good to go. Alright, I got a little diced parsley. Gonna add some of that in there, give it a little more color, a little more contrast. I just grabbed a kind of a small handful, so put in what you like. We'll stir that up there. Oh man, I can't wait to eat this for dinner tonight. Alright, we've had this simmering for a little bit. Crab should be nice and warm, cream should be nice and warm. Now one last thing to do, that's taste it to see if we need to add anything else. Again, this is to your taste. So I'm going to check this out here. Yep guys, that's awesome. For me, I don't need to add anything else to it. So now we'll go ahead and get this plated, and you can see I guess the final product in the bowl. Alright guys, so there's the finished product, the Piscatorian Dungeness crab corn chowder. I got some family over, and we'll get their thoughts here in a second. Alright guys, so this is the family. We're having some crab chowder. What do you guys think?
It's excellent. Yeah, excellent amount of smokiness, lots of crab. The sweetness of the corn really comes through. It's excellent.
All right, and that's my brother from another mother, so you gotta trust him. All right guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you like today's content, smash the like button. And hope to see you guys next time, and as always, tight line.